My in is mustaches.
Ew. Okay. I was gonna say ew. I was gonna say ew to literally anything that came out of his
Was that
mouth
eye
there.
contact a little too intense for you?
Literally
Hold
anything that he said
Hold
there.
my eye contact.
There's gonna be a blue dot on this house in like an hour.
Lead us in, Arielle.
This is not our
Harmonize
theme-
with us.
No, this is not our theme song.
I don't like that.
Okay, try again. Lead us in.
Nope.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Coaches Group Chat. I'm Arielle, along with my co-hosts, Chad and Matt. Our producer,
First.
Bobby, is here.
Welcome
back,
back, Bobby. Our budget was
budget's
raised
back.
this week. Our budget was raised this week.
This week's episode is sponsored by the dentist's office and the veterinarian's office and
You just naming all the places that we spent way too much money
the
at this
airport.
weekend.
We've got a great docket for all of you today. Thank you to all of our loyal listeners. Anybody who's
Why do you sound like you're like you sound like you're speaking over the store microphone where you're like very calm and quiet,
yeah.
like
Nice. I've always
please,
wanted to
someone-
do that.
staff representative, please report to the poultry section.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do that.
Well, that's good for you. I'm going to bring a little bit more energy to this he's the overachiever. To this couch right now because we had a great weekend of volleyball. I tried to stay up late to watch all of the UH Long Beach matches. I got to the first two sets and then
I phoned it
not
in
gonna lie,
first.
I conked.
I phoned it in first and then I was like, can I go to bed?
Yeah, you went to bed first,
And then
I
Matt was up.
I was
there,
laying.
like,
I was laying down on the couch watching
maybe
like
10
this,
minutes later.
and I woke up and missed at least 13 points. I was like, yeah, it's time. It's time to call it. I'll watch tomorrow on Biometrics. So I tried, but we did stay up and we watched USC Stanford right before that. That went 5. We had a nice weekend of volleyball, and so I think that's. I hear we talk about volleyball
That's
sometimes.
where we'll
I feel like we
start.
need to start there. So Chad,
What do
give
we
us your
think?
perspective since you were not asleep on the couch with us. What were your thoughts?
I was not asleep on the couch. Yeah, I would have preferred this couch. This is a great couch. I've watched a lot of good volleyball, and I've had a lot of good sleeps on this couch.
We're not telling you where this couch is from, though, because the producers of this couch have not paid us enough money to tell you where it's from. But we will if they do.
This couch is from dropdimes.co.
Nice. We
So
sell
you
couches
go,
now.
go to the website.
No,
They
it's
are-
actually sold out, but there's other great products you could check
They
out.
are not from
Dimes
China.
10 for a 10% off code.
We got tariffs on this couch now, so we're going to need a new supplier.
We're gonna need to just steal this out the
We'll
window.
get back to tariffs later.
Funny you say that. Yeah. Good segue.
To Hawaii. Yeah, I mean, I think what is it? Matt Stradamus over here called the first night win by the beach, and then the second night loss, the split on the weekend. Yeah, I mean, Hawaii settled into their own. Obviously, Finn Kearney coming into the starting lineup played really, really well for them,
Really
both
well.
on the
Yeah.
left and the right. I thought Troy Libero was very impressive against Long Beach's serving. I mean, he was just basically digging balls, and like that's what you needed to do against some of that.
He did not get enough credit. I would agree with you. He was huge.
For sure, yeah. That was some of the best volleyball I've seen him play, I think, this year. And yeah, it was Hawaii just brought it with their atmosphere and were able to recover pretty quickly, and then took advantage of, I don't know, a tired Long Beach, or I don't know. I know there were rumors about Nikolov like not feeling great or whatever, but like credit to Hawaii, like sorry, but like they won it. And
Why do you say sorry? Like, I hate Hawaii. I don't hate Hawaii.
So
We
was
need to
was
talk
that
to our-
directed at you?
We need to talk to our fans about this. Do you think
I
that
was
the-
looking past you.
Yeah, were you directing
That
that?
was
at
the
her? I feel-
refrigerator back
Why are
there.
you so threatened right
Do you
now?
Yeah.
think that
I'm not
I
defensive about
like
this.
Hawaii?
That's like a state.
You do?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a great beaches, and yeah.
Do you think I like Hawaii?
What are we talking about? The team?
Yeah.
Do I think you like Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you think they're good. I think you think other teams are better.
Yeah.
Do I think you have a bias against Hawaii? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Why?
100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100% you have a bias.
Really?
Of course.
I'm not aware of this bias.
All right.
A classic bias.
Would you like us to to let you see around the corners of your bias?
No.
Right.
I'm just talking to all the people that are hating on me in the comment section of me putting Hawaii at 5.
Well, yeah, you put them at 5.
Yeah, I put him lower than everybody else.
You kept USC, who lost twice this weekend, ahead of them.
Klein was hurt, and I think Klein is really good, and I think that...
Yeah, so was Duker, and so was Blanchett. Like, USC is hurt, yes, 100%.
They're way too hurt, and I don't think they deserve to go down when they've been playing out of their minds lately.
Yes, healthy USC is top 3 team. Hurt
my
USC
rankings doesn't need to make
top 5.
sense to everybody.
No,
they're
correct.
my rankings for me.
And that's why we say...
Exactly.
Wait, crazy idea. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Next year for the Traders poll, we'll remove all the names and we'll just submit them anonymously, so no one will know.
That's
so no
a
one
good
can
idea
shit-talk
because
you.
people have been being mean to us.
Because people are holding us accountable for our votes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's
we
like,
should totally
God,
do that.
We'll edit this part
We
out,
can't
obviously.
take it. We can't take the criticism from people.
Exactly.
The criticism I've gotten today has been, Missy, you can't talk to Hawaii like that.
Someone did comment
Shut
Missy,
up.
which I was like, who in this world uses Missy ever
Have you
anymore?
ever been called Missy?
Not lately.
Have you ever been called Missy?
What's the male
When was
version
the last time you were called Missy, Bobby? It's been a minute.
Hey, kid. Hey,
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. What's the boy version? Is that sport?
I
Kid?
don't,
Sport?
yeah, maybe.
No,
Buckaroo?
somebody calls you sport.
Listen
What
here, Buckaroo. It's
No.
definitely Buckaroo. I got words, Buckaroo.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh man.
Hey,
Hey, it's
not
okay.
gonna lie. You deserve to get a little bit of smack for that.
Sure, it drives the
And that's okay.
algorithm. Thanks for the algorithm
Great.
push.
You can
nerds.
embrace that. Embrace
No, but
that.
hold on. I get the other side of it of like they need to win a big match
Win away
Yes.
from your house.
away from the stand.
Totally.
And
Thank you.
they haven't played any big match. I mean,
Yeah.
what have they done?
CSUN.
They split
CSUN's
with
a big
CSUN.
match. They
Yeah,
didn't
and
do
that-
it.
Yeah, and well, they split with CSUN and what? That's
Great.
the 8th ranked team. The
Great.
9th, like
Good
like
for you.
that's sick. But like, you
Yeah.
want to be the number 2 team?
Listen, I don't even know. I'm just like putting names in order. And Hawaii's is my 5.
You also removed Loyola Chicago completely.
Hey, they got rocked by Lewis.
They did
Okay,
lose to Lewis.
but-
Yeah, yeah.
so they lost to Lewis, and they were my 9 the week before, and so I was like, "Yeah,
Gotta
you're
go.
out. You
Gotta
gotta
go.
go. You gotta go."
Stanford's back.
Stanford's back.
Actions
Yep.
have consequences.
Actions have consequences. Exactly. See, my rankings only need to make sense to me and make us laugh when we're sitting here. That's it.
Sold.
There you go.
Great.
Then a victory has
A
been
victory
had.
has been had.
A victory has been had.
Okay, I'm glad we've settled this.
All right. Well, speaking of USC, there's
Should I
think
put Hawaii as 1 next week? Just to
just to be completely unhinged.
11.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
It's like
then
2 ones.
Take 'em
people
out.
are gonna
It's-
troll.
it's 2 ones.
People are gonna troll you even more, saying that. So maybe you should. I think
I'll put Hawaii at 1 if somebody pays me.
Money's no object, but
Money's the object.
money's the object.
you want to put
Money's
your
the
Venmo,
only-
your Venmo,
Yeah, I'll put my
username
Venmo
in there.
here.
Side note,
And-
did any of us have BYU? Like, is BYU still in our thing at all, or is it just
Yes,
in the
yeah.
other poll that?
Yeah. Hunt had BYU.
Well, he doesn't pay attention.
Yeah, Hunt does pay attention.
Hunt pays more attention than Brad does.
Brad pays attention to like the top 3. He doesn't
Does
see
Hunt
anything
listen to
else.
this?
Hunt or
To this?
no,
Oh, I don't know.
Brad went to the Stanford USC game and then just made switches
Yeah,
based
yeah.
off Stanford USC.
100%, yeah,
and
100% he
that's
did.
it. Was like, oh, I like the way Stanford played. Great,
Yeah.
put him in.
He's like,
And
yeah, Stanford
USC
back to 10.
moves down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it was just those 2. Did
Okay.
you have BYU in there?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I think that
they haven't beaten anybody since Ball State. Like week
Stanford.
2.
They beat
Let's
Stanford.
talk
yeah.
about Ball State.
Okay, not number 5 anymore.
Started
No,
at-
they're not. They
started at
number
5.
Okay, so who had them up high? I remember. I need to make myself one of those.
I had Ball
one
State
of those
high.
little Mastradamus videos because I'm pretty sure that I said there's no way in hell Ball State is going to stay
You
here.
did. Yes. You
Wait,
said
can
that.
you make me a video like that?
I got.
Shit to do.
I'm yelling into microphones a lot. I got things to do.
Could you do something nice for me once?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Acts of service. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an airdrop waiting for me.
You did. Yeah.
Probably.
Coming up, we're gonna do our recap to look at our like preseason predictions to where we're at now coming up because, and we're gonna go. You know, we're gonna get to that place. But first and foremost, can we talk the USC since we were there before? I'd like to just pull us back real quick so we can
What
finish
about
off
him?
the USC conversation. USC injured, yes. Healthy, I think everyone would agree. Top 3 team. They've been having a hell of a season,
I
and
would
now
like to
they
see
are
them ramping up.
they're limping their way in.
They're limping.
You've
their way
got
right now. Yeah.
Duker's been out for 2 weeks. Not sure of the extent of where his injury's at. Klein didn't play against Pepperdine night 2. He tried to give it a go against Stanford, played all 5 sets, but was kind of in and out, struggling a little bit, played on the left, played on the right, and then didn't play in night 2. Blanchette's been nursing a back injury. He was in and out. So you've got a banged up starting group for them. They have UCLA this week. You got crosstown rival. Then you got MPSF tournament. Obviously, they have a good record, but they're also at the point now where they might not have that at-large locked up where they might need to win the MPSF tournament. So if you're Nygaard and the USC staff, how are you game theorying this? What are you stepping into? Are you trying to run Klein and the A's if they're feeling good, or let's just assume they're not at 100%. Chad, how would you play this?
He doesn't want to hear my.
No. I know you're gonna have a spicy take, so we'll get to you.
I'll go with the mild salsa on this one.
Yeah, salsa fresco over there.
Yeah, I think if it's an ankle or something like that, where it's like, all right, I know if I just get off of it for a few days, it'll get me where I need to go, and hey, maybe we can get through the first round of MPSF by another day or two. Okay.
How long do they have? 2 weeks?
I believe there might be a week in between. They might have 3 weeks.
No,
Okay.
I don't think.
No,
think
it's 2
they've
weeks. It's
got
2
2
weeks. Yeah,
weeks.
because then you're right in
2
the
weeks
NCAA
is
after.
short.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty fast turnaround. I think they probably have to try and win these UCLA ones because you put a lot on the line and you don't know if they're going to be healthy in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the injuries are, so I don't know who's playing with what. So I think if they're small-ish things, I think you push. I think if they're medium to large things, like if it's a knee and not an ankle or something, maybe you play night 1 and like see how it goes. And
So you're thinking they need to try and they need to get a win against UCLA for the at-large.
I think,
to give themselves the best chance.
Let's say they're hurt and they drop both to UCLA, which is super possible because UCLA has like 40 guys who are all like blue chip kids.
Yep.
Okay, that's another 2 L's. Do you get an at-large like that? I don't know, right? And then
You don't.
you're gonna lose.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't.
then you're gonna lose to somebody in the playoffs. I don't know. Like I think you gotta win the conference at that point, the tournament.
I'm going to sleep today. I'm waking up ready for the MPSF. I'm
You're sitting
forfeiting both games, and I am getting ready to make a run.
You're
Rest
forfeiting.
everyone.
Rest everybody.
You're not even gonna let Jack Everton have a go at UCLA.
No
No,
chance.
Jack needs to be ready for the MPSF.
He could get hurt getting off the bus.
Yeah,
like
we
we're not
need
even gonna
everybody. We
travel.
need everybody ready. We need everybody ready
We're not
to
gonna even
go.
cross the
We're
town.
going to sleep. We're all locking in, and we're getting ready to make a run.
Get in the fucking bubble.
Yeah.
It's the bubble.
No one's gonna come knocking for Arielle as the head coach of their collegiate men's volleyball program.
Thank God.
I'm with you.
The
I'm with
advice
you.
was phone it in.
I'd rather make double.
Yeah. Oh, shit! Shots fired. I'm with you, Chad. I'm thinking you gotta try and get one against UCLA.
I think if you split, that's still a good
obviously-
look.
Sure.
Obviously, if
I
they're
get that.
we have no knowledge of what the injuries are, what the extent is. Obviously, you got to prioritize that. But if there is the ability for them to go, and it's like a choice of like, hey, we can go hard this week.
If they win both, do they get the at-large?
I mean, there's no guarantees at all, obviously. But
What do you think?
I think if they beat UCLA twice, there's a very good chance that they're still in that at-large consideration. Obviously, the 2 losses to Stanford don't help, but if you win, the other thing that committee looks at is how you trend into the tournament, and that's the struggle. That's the sad part for USC right now.
It's
Is like
so hard.
they've been playing so well,
Yeah.
and they're just at the wrong time. Kids are getting knocked
Hey,
out.
hopefully these kids are a little bit banged up, but they're able to like recoup and get ready to go.
Yeah, I mean,
knows? Who knows?
I want to see a full strength, because if you played this match,
They're
that
the most
USC
interesting
UCLA
team
matchup,
to me.
if you played that match 3 weeks ago, when USC is still like in prime form,
Yeah, that's so
UCLA is in
interesting.
prime form. My goodness, that would have been.
Or it could be.
It still could be if they're still going.
Yeah.
Yes, but I gotta
Hey,
think they're
Klein
gonna be a
hit
little
that
banged.
big pretty great at the
Yeah,
end.
that was pretty nonchalant, full
Yeah.
power.
He had a couple plays in that game that were like, damn, still very physical,
Yeah.
but not anywhere near the. You could see him limping, and
I mean, it
and-
was also a 5-setter and like it was
Yeah.
a long game. But
Yeah,
like,
he was being taken in and out. He didn't have a
Yeah.
kill through the first like half of the second set.
yeah, it's also when kids are nursing stuff, setters are not going to them as much.
Yeah.
It's not their normal game. So
Yep.
hopefully
interesting.
USC is back ready to go. So that,
Hopefully USC doesn't forfeit 2 games against UCLA, and we can watch some good matchup there.
yeah, I'm
Play the one at home.
to
Don't
anybody
get on the
that's
bus.
listening that doesn't realize that I'm kidding, you're an idiot. But that's okay. Good for you.
All right, we've been making some predictions as of late. We like to do that
We
sometimes. We're getting close to the conference tournament. Speaking of that very coveted automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. So I'd like to take us around the horn again. And Arielle, you get to kick us off this time
With what? Predict what?
with our conference champions. We're going to start. We'll keep it right here
The
in the
EIVA?
MPSF. No,
Cool.
we'll keep
The
it right here in
EIVA.
the MPSF because we were already talking about them.
So the EIVA.
All right, go ahead. Who you got?
I don't care. The MIVA, I'm gonna go McKendree.
Yeah.
Coming out of
Honey
nowhere,
Badgers.
just like figuring it out.
The long con with the double
The
L's. They're
long
coming
con.
back.
Yes,
All right.
they're coming back. I got McKendree. A tale as old as not a tale as old as time. They've never done it before. Wouldn't it be so cool, if McKendree?
Oh yeah,
got it?
I would love a McKendree.
Okay,
in the
Big
MIVA tournament.
West. I got Long Beach. Sorry.
Can we go one at a time here?
Oh, I thought you were
MIVA, great.
No.
You've got your McKendree. Thank
Fine,
you,
McKendree.
Chad. Your turn. Let's debate the conferences at a
Fine.
time.
My heart
There
would
needs
love,
to be some logic.
My heart would love Nikki. My brain says Loyola.
because of Parker.
Sure, that's one of the many.
Name a McKendree player.
Don't know.
I don't either.
Don't know.
Their outside hitter
You?
comments on like all of our stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he's a great dude.
That's so nice.
He's all in. He's all in.
Nikki's the only one I know.
I'm blank. No, his name is on the tip of my tongue. I can see his face. He's their captain OH1, and I'm blanking on his
the
name.
McKendree.
I'm sorry, my guy.
We'll look it up. We're gonna
yeah.
know everybody's name after this.
I'm not gonna look it up. I'm only
I'm
here
not
for
looking
Nikki.
it up.
Yeah.
Nikki's team.
Yeah,
I
Nikki's
want-
team.
Nikki number 1, Nikki number
Yeah.
2, Nikki number 3, Nikki number 4.
I want so badly to say Ball State because that was my
That would be so funny.
early season pick.
What
That would
if
be a
they-
longer,
I'm
long
sure
con.
that's what their gym sounds like right now. Of like, all we gotta do is get back to number 5.
Yeah, but man, oh man, I've watched a couple of
They're
their
bad.
recent games, and it looks like it's not crisp
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Loyola looks so much more crisp. Even Lewis, like I'm more inclined to pick. My dark
Yeah.
horse pick would be Lewis
Interesting. For
Really,
because they have games where they look
really good.
like they can beat anyone.
Yeah.
And then they have games where you're like, what in the world
Yeah.
has happened? Like, how hungover is this group of kids right now?
Honestly,
High ceiling, low floor.
Yeah.
For
that's
sure.
okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, honestly, that's where my head goes. Is like, yeah, I think Loyola is the safe bet. McKendree is right there. They can absolutely do it. They've beaten Loyola already this year. I think it would be a fairy tale. But I think I'm gonna go with Lewis because I
Really?
think they
No,
could
he's
do it
just
too.
Trying to clip farm
That's
right
the
now.
the best beard in the MIVA.
It's
So
not a clip farm at all. Honestly,
He's
if I want to be
trying to-
Mastradamus right now, this is a bad Mastradamus pick. This is a
Fine.
high risk choice.
I
So-
want McKendree to win, so I'm going to pick McKendree.
I like that.
You're picking Loyola. You're picking Lewis. Should we have a watch party? Maybe.
I mean,
if
we
it
are-
happens, it happens.
We usually do that anyways. Yeah.
see.
All right, let's go to the EIVA. We'll start with Chad since
I
Arielle
do care about
literally
the.
doesn't
I
care.
do care about the EIVA. I just wish they were all better right now.
We all picked Penn State to win the EIVA. At the start
We
of the year.
all agree that that's still who you pick.
Let's find out, Chad.
you
Since,
guys are going to start with me. Man, it has not been super
An
impressive.
Easy
out there.
year out there.
Give me some Princeton, and we'll see. All right,
Why?
little Rowan David
yeah,
Alvear.
give me a little Rowan.
Yeah, go Rowan. Yay.
That's about it, though. I mean,
What about
I am with you. I am also selecting Princeton as my. They'd be my current pick after just seeing how it goes. They're in the lead of the EIVA currently.
Yeah. Nope.
Screw you guys. I'm going Penn State. Peter Chris forever. He's
he
not
doesn't.
there
He
yet.
doesn't go there.
But that's okay. I think Pav's the GOAT.
Hey, I mean, in all
Wasn't
honesty,
Pav my backup? No.
Yeah, he was
Did I-
your-
Did I pick
Oh,
Pat?
yeah.
You picked Pat for your Beer
Yes.
Olympics team. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he'll be free.
Yeah,
No
because
problem.
she took your starting pick,
Yeah,
which
because
was
I took Milan because I'm
Milan.
smart. See, Hawaii fans, I took Milan on my Beer Olympics team. You idiots.
All right, let's take it to the Big West. Let's take it to the Big West. We all picked Long Beach as our no, we didn't. Ooh.
He picked Irvine.
I picked Irvine, I think. No, you
He picked Irvine.
No,
I picked Long Beach.
I picked Long Beach, but I picked Irvine to win the Natty.
Wait, you picked Long Beach to win.
I think Long Beach wins the conference.
Yep.
I think Irvine wins the Natty.
I picked Irvine to win the conference. That's what I did. I picked Long Beach to win the
Classic.
regular season and Irvine to win the tournament is what I picked.
I picked Long Beach to win the conference tournament and the national championship.
Yeah.
and make it out of the first 2 rounds of VNL.
I'll start after seeing the season play out, see what this team is. I think you gotta bet on Long Beach. That's just even still knowing that they lost at Hawaii. I think if it's Hawaii Long Beach again in the finals at Big West, that would be that'd be an amazing thing for men's volleyball. And I would choose Long Beach in that matchup again.
Me too.
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Long Beach as the auto qualifier out of the Big West. Sorry, Irvine. I think Irvine still gets in as the at-large if they can
Agreed.
not have a bad next 2 weeks. They're going to be in there.
I'm excited to watch it. I
Yeah.
think it'll be good.
Who you got? You got Long Beach still?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Long Beach for you as well. Okay. Clean sweep of Long Beach for us. Let's go to the MPSF where things can be quite interesting. Arielle, start us off. Who takes that? Who takes the tournament? Who takes that auto berth? I think the MPSF. I'll set the stage for you a little bit. I think the MPSF has actually been a lot more back and forth than probably we would have thought it was going to be this year. Lots of upsets thus far.
I don't know. Honestly.
I know. There's options.
Do you got something?
I do, but I wouldn't want to upstage you.
Please.
I think UCLA because SC is probably not going to be healthy.
I'm gonna go to Matt. What do you think?
I am currently checking who is hosting.
It's Grand Canyon.
Is it at Grand Canyon?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true.
It's at Pepperdine.
It's at
There you
Pepperdine.
go.
It's
Okay,
the
at
Grand
That's what I meant.
Canyon of
It's
the
the Grand
Malibu.
Canyon of
Yeah. the Grand Canyon.
Different canyon.
Of
It's the different-
Topanga.
Classic Boy Meets World joke for you, younger listeners.
Wait, why did I think that? Is it there next year? Is it Grand
Yeah,
Canyon next
it
year?
is coming up as one of them. But okay, so Pepperdine's hosting. I like Pepperdine. I think they've done some good things. That gives them a little
I
bit of a
think they're
bump.
Pepperdine.
I think USC is limping into it. I think they're still going to be limping into it. And so that's a tough one.
Oh man,
Stanford
anybody can
always
win.
finds a way in the
I
MPSF
know,
tournament.
I want to say
They
Stanford.
always find a way to get hot.
I want to say Stanford because that'd be so fun.
But we have
But it's
played,
not about us.
We have played poorly. I say we. Stanford has played poorly in Firestone for the past numerous amounts of years.
So those low ceilings,
And with where they currently stand in the MPSF, they're going to need to probably run a pretty tough gauntlet. They're going to see UCLA early
Great.
if they're in and make some moves.
I guess
I'm
I'll
gonna
pick
go.
UCLA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go UCLA. That's where my heart kind of goes to it too. So that's where my gut feeling is.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna say UCLA, just on paper.
You got a spicier take for us? Or?
Yeah, on paper, USC probably would have been my. I don't really know.
Healthy US. I would have picked a healthy USC.
Yeah.
Over a healthy UCLA. That's why I was really hoping that we would have that matchup.
I will say that I do think that Stanford is a team that can upset better teams.
Yes, they've shown that. Yeah,
That's all I-
backs
that's all
against
I
the
have to
wall. I
say.
think the
I don't
Stanford
know.
squad. That's not who. If I'm
fucking homers. We just like Stanford.
no, but to be
Can you
fair,
blame us. We just love them.
to be fair, I wouldn't want to face Stanford
I wouldn't
early on.
either.
I wouldn't want them to be my quarterfinal matchup because they have shown the ability to slay some giants, right? And when your back's against the wall, those types of teams usually play to near their capacity. And when a team can beat top level teams at their capacity, that's scary to face, right? Stanford has been inconsistent this year, but they have shown the ability to be able to beat the Hawaiis, the USCs, compete with majority of teams across the board, minus the matchup with Irvine where they didn't really show us anything. So that's not a team I want to face. But it's hard to pick them to win the whole thing because they got to get through 3 tough teams most likely.
The easy pick, I guess, is UCLA.
Yes.
But I do think that something else could happen.
Yes,
That's what I'm
100%.
gonna stand with.
100%, which muddies the waters. If UCLA doesn't win the MPSF, they're in a very good position to get an at-large still, as long as they don't. Even if they split with USC, I think they're still probably in a pretty good position with their record, right? Whereas the Big West, it's like you want to get to the finals of that, and if it's Irvine, Long Beach, or Hawaii, then they're probably good for that. But even still, the third place team, right? If Irvine loses in the semis type of a deal, they could still get that at large. As long as
Tariffs.
What are they?
Welcome to our segment that we like to call Tariffs, ? What are they?
This is where we solve and fix the world's economy
Yes.
from the couch.
Tariffs, are they bad?
Are they good? Should we impose tariffs on college volleyball, a.k.a. only 2 foreigners per team?
Oh, let's talk about that for a second.
Luxury tax.
Let's actually talk about it.
Paying a tax for everybody over the cap.
We did some digging
Oh, yes.
on the foreigners.
From our last pod.
podcast.
James got to work and he put
Cousin
it all together.
James.
So here's the task I gave to James. I said, James, I need you to go to the Big 4 conferences and look up the rosters and put every single player's name, hometown, where they're from, blah, 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 position. And then there's a box that either says foreign or domestic. And so we went through.
You don't think ChatGPT could have scraped that for you?
Maybe James
Not reliably. James is the GOAT. He did it for sure.
Just making sure.
So I wanted to make sure it was.
ChatGPT to
If
do
you
it.
want something done right, James. If you want something done right,
Use
ask
James.
James to do it.
James use
Hire
ChatGPT. Hell yeah, James. Take the rest of the day.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that's badass if you did that, James.
Okay, so
So we did some digging. We've got the
we've got
math.
the numbers.
We've got
Everybody.
the math. There's 536
Obviously.
athletes in the top 4
Everyone knows
programs.
that. Yep.
The numbers break down to basically every team has the averages. Each team has about 3.3 foreigners.
Is that
per
low or high
roster.
for you?
That's about. I would have said 3 or 4. That totally makes
Do
sense.
we think that's too much?
Yeah, if you look at it from an 18 roster cap, if you look
Which
at it
we are
from,
currently not
which is
in.
which we're not
in,
here,
but
which we're
next
not
week
yet.
that could change.
It would be right about that. You'd looking at 3.
I don't think when we got these numbers, I thought that it was more
per team.
per team. I don't think that is too many.
What do you have a split of what this is for like teams within the top 10?
Great question. James,
Filter your list
based
by
off
their
of
ranking.
Arielle's ranking
Sure.
of the top 10.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, but
Useless. I'd be more because there are just a lot of teams. I mean, there aren't that many, but there are a
there's
lot.
only
that
536 athletes.
Yeah, but
like,
we don't talk about most of the teams, right?
Mhm.
Like, it took us a minute to remember like who was
Fairly-
in the EIVA.
Yeah,
You know, so
sure.
yeah, I'd be curious about like of the top teams that are competing to be in the semis and finals of these conference tournaments.
Okay.
What percentage of that is these international guys?
After we
Sorry, I have another math. It's 83 total international athletes
Of the 5
of the 537, which equates to about just over 3 point something per
percentage,
roster.
that's like 16%.
Yeah, around there.
16%.
Wow, impressive to do that in your head.
We've talked about it already. I can't do math that fast.
I tried to give you that.
Yeah. No.
Missed
I don't
that
want people
one.
to think I'm smart.
That would be the
We
worst.
could definitely dig down deeper into that data of like, all right, how many of them start? How many of them are starting on these teams? How many of them
I've
are
changed my mind on this.
how many of them are playing on top 15 teams?
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
I don't mind the international kids playing. I I changed my mind halfway through our conversation last time we talked about this too, because you've got we talked about Sonny on Long Beach as a good example of this, of like he's not getting as much time because the Euros are playing.
Yeah.
And for me, he's getting the time in practice. So that disproves our theory of like every kid in our gym, the amount of time that they spend playing in practice is where they're going to get better, not just playing on the court during tournaments. And so I truly believe that where the highest level gym that you can be in is where you're going to get better. And I think that kid gets better because he's in the gym with better athletes.
I don't disagree, but I think there's still something like when you're trying to get recruited to the next level, right?
The 18 roster cap is what I have a problem with.
Sure.
I don't have a problem with the Euros. I have a problem with the 18 roster cap.
Keep going with what you were saying though, because what he's saying is basically if these guys want to play at the next level, if you want American talent to play at the highest level, they need to be seen. So I think there's a balance. It's not a 0 or 1 binary code that says, hey, no foreigners or free range of foreigners.
Yeah, I mean, like when Karch flies out to like Purdue to watch Annie Drews play, like, what about, okay, well, that doesn't happen if there's some Euro playing like, above these kids, right? Like if Spraw's coming in the gym, like, oh, Karch
coaches the men's now. It's Spraw's the CEO of USA Volleyball. So
I'm talking a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But when you're looking at these teams, if you are that third kid or something like that, right? You may not get seen collegiately. You may not be on these lists or whatever. And then you're not playing against the A's, right? Of all these other teams too, right? You're playing against your A's or splitting in your gym. Mm-hmm. But like if you're the third kid at whatever OH3, you didn't play against Moni Nikolov this year, Well, I guess unless you're Finn Kearney, but like other than that, right? Like, yeah, you play in practice. There is a lot of merit to that for sure, but you're not going against the best of the best in the nation. Plus, then, yeah, if you want to get recruited to go or like get scouted, I guess, to go play pro overseas, you have a smaller chance to put film together.
Yeah, and let's be real. Game time in a game matters.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why when we're club directors and we talk to our coaches is there's never gonna be a time where we just sit kids on the bench for a whole tournament. That would be a bad experience because kids need to play. There's never equal playing time. Mm-hmm. That's not a thing specifically when you're trying to win, but there is most definitely a difference between practice time and game time and getting that competition reps. So yeah, that's where I love how this started from tariffs as we kind of go back from it. But like
it's a funny name for this segment.
The idea of a tariff is basically it's an incentive, right? You're trying to incentivize growth in an American market. Okay. I'm not trying to put 125% tariff on like no foreigners allowed. Like that's not what we need. We want higher level men's volleyball in our country. We want to bring in international talent that's at the top of the level, but we also if we're going to get capped on the roster spot, we
got to cap the international too.
That's going to need to be
we got to cap the serving misses.
Yes, that's a whole nother can of worms when it comes to how we improve the sport. But like, I mean, I think Chad was one of the ones that said it on the serving side. Is like this is the logical conclusion of where men's volleyball goes. You can't put in a lollipop. We're too good. We're too offensive. If we're in system, we're going to score 85% of the time. Yep. So you got to grip it and rip it. You got to get them off the net. Otherwise, you're just going to lose the point anyways. So in reality, it's kind of two factors. In order for us to miss less serves, you need the offense to be less effective, or passing needs to be more difficult.
Or we make the foul out rule. I think the foul out rule is
you can make
incredible.
I love the foul out rule as well, and I think it goes but I think you need both things at once because if you're trying to make the best TV product, which is where we kind of always look at it from the lens of how do we make the sport more broadly, how do we more broadly reach a larger demographic, a larger audience? It's through television, so you need a good television product. Serve, pass, kill, serve, pass, kill, serve, pass, kill is not a good product either. It's better. It's better than miss serve, but the better product is like rallies.
Do you think that men's volleyball or women's volleyball is a better product?
Right now, I think women's volleyball is a better product.
Because there's better rallies?
Because there is much better rallies.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there's more to watch.
I think the
The
physical,
rally goes for 10, whatever.
the highest level of men's volleyball can be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Guess I agree with you.
But the product on the whole is better on the women's side because it's a much more watchable television product because of just the length of rallies. You can see every action unfolding. It's a little bit slower, but even at the highest levels where they're hitting it just as hard as any collegiate men's volleyball team, they're still getting digs.
Yeah,
they're still
for
getting
sure.
these rallies.
Yeah, if you're giving me Pitt, Nebraska, whatever, Penn State, like, yeah, that's big time. That's big time. Super athletic, really high level ball for sure. But even like, there's a difference between us and our opinion on this versus like a casual fan who like, oh yeah, like, well, my daughter plays, so like I like to watch with her.
Yeah.
They don't care that, you know, hey, like if you pulled a random men's game and a random women's game, like, you know, maybe the volleyball isn't like super impressive, but like one of them is going to have a lot of stoppage through to bad serving and just a lot of errors.
Yeah.
And one of them's going to have long rallies.
agree with you.
Even if it's like, hey, yeah, like couldn't score, so I tipped it to the libero. And
At least we're watching something.
Yeah, at least something's happening. Right?
I agree with that.
We might think that's bad, but
Yeah.
a casual person wants sport.
That's why I think you do both things simultaneously. Like if you add in the foul out rule, then missed serves become interesting. Okay, you're like, oh, okay, we got. Like,
I think it's so interesting.
how many fouls does he have? Oh,
Yeah,
like he's
he has
got
to
3
put the ball
fouls. Like
in.
he's got to get this ball in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the next guy comes in, and
think
then you
it's super
also
interesting.
say, okay, at the same time, you're not allowed to pass open hand because now passing float serves becomes way more difficult, and now float serves are way easier to keep in play, and so you can still create that out of system situation with not needing to take as big of a risk from the service line, so there's less errors. Or it's the same idea, right? You go full beach mode, just like Chad's preached before. You go no open hand tips.
That's
So it's easier. It's easier to defend, and it then removes a lot of judgment call. So there's good things there. But yeah, I think you need to do both at the same time when thinking about the men's game in particular as a TV product. I think the women's game is in a pretty good spot. Could it be better? Sure. Would that be beneficial? I think they should test it. They should play around with it.
The just interesting switches to the game like that could be could be a good thing to test for TV.
Yeah, 100%. Great job, Tariffs. Tariffs turned into a great segment, guys.
Tariffs was a really well branded segment that we didn't realize was going to be.
Well, we didn't plan any of that.
Good job,
so
Bobby.
That worked out.
Nice work. Last segment. This is our obligatory Title IX segment of the
Go
pod.
Girls, women
in
empowerment.
sports, women in STEM. The Love Championship took place this past weekend.
I forgot
You
what you were
grabbed
like
women in
winding up
STEM?
for there. I was like, what are we
Wait, what
talking?
happened?
Did I miss something?
Love Austin won. Love wins
Love wins.
Love
conquers.
all.
There it is.
Yep. And who did they beat? They beat
The other Love team.
Love Omaha.
The other
The
Love.
other-
It was the rematch. It was Texas versus Nebraska all over again, and Texas yet again came out on top.
It was cute.
It was. I think I'd love to see. I mean, I feel
Can
like
we talk about Stacey Sikora's outfits for a second? Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? That girl has got some. Oh, man, come on, guys.
Sorry. no.
Stacey's killing it
we'll throw some images up there on the
on the outfit
On
game
the,
as of late.
pod.
She's assistant for Love Austin. Yeah. And I'm going to say other facts about this that I know about. Julianne Fawcett won. Carly Lloyd won.
I learned they're
Bunch
best
of
friends.
Yeah.
That's a nice story.
A bunch of Texas people won. And we're really happy for them.
The top 4 seeds did not make the finals.
They did reverse sweep. They reverse sweep to win. And apparently those games that day were like insane.
The bottom 2 teams
One.
in the league made the finals, and then Austin.
on
Hey.
any given Sunday.
Hey, what team did we not talk about today that could win it? Ball State.
We
No?
talked about them for sure.
Who
And
else?
how they can't win it.
Who could win out of nowhere? Darkest horse of men's volleyball.
CSUN.
No, that's too.
Queens.
No,
What?
Who's the Conference Carolina champion?
no, we didn't. We don't. No.
Name 3 teams in that conference. No, that,
Emory.
we do that. Yeah.
Emory?
I plead the
Is
fifth.
that
Barton
one?
King, Erskine.
Endicott.
Yeah, no. Close, but
Erskine.
Endicott's D3.
Yeah.
Erskine had that kid back in the day that used to like pump fake every single set, and it was like, this isn't funny anymore. He would go up to try and attack, but he just set the ball every time.
Oh.
You remember that?
No.
The first year the Conference Carolinas were in the tournament, and they had the kid that just went up to try and attack, but he just set the ball every time. It was like
he was Nikolov before Nikolov.
Nope, he just did it. Just did
Nikolov
it. He
grew
never
up
dunked.
watching this guy on TV.
He's been watching the
Big
Erskine
Erskine
kid.
fan.
Probably had that poster in his room.
I don't know. I just go Carolina.
Chad, what's your ins of the day? What's in for you?
Socks. Yeah. Socks are in.
Viore
Fresh
shorts?
pair of socks. Chad, nothing better for Chad than a fresh pair of
No,
socks.
I came with these.
Oh,
yeah,
I
but
know
you
what
got a
Chad's
fresh
in
pair of
is.
socks.
I got two
Chad's
pair.
in is a chain.
Oh yeah, look at this guy. Pop that chain out.
No. Just let it.
Pop that chain out,
It's
Chad.
a nonchalant chain.
Yeah,
It's casual.
nice. Look at
My
that.
in is silver.
Chains.
I've switched all of my earrings. We don't do gold anymore. I go silver, and that's it for now. I still have some gold in my necklace, but that's okay.
My in is mustaches.
Ew. Okay. I was gonna say ew. I was gonna say ew to literally anything that came out of his
Was that
mouth
eye
there.
contact a little too intense for you?
Literally
Hold
anything that he said
Hold
there.
my eye contact.
There's gonna be a blue dot on this house in like an hour.
That's a tough joke.
Okay, well, thanks for listening to the Coaches Group Chat. We love you all. Thanks for joining. Swipe up, swipe down, like, and subscribe.
Mustaches are out. They've had their time.